Time for me to finally talk about Bass Friday Night Funkin. Thanks guys for getting me to 1,000 subscribers, it means a lot. And honestly, I'm just kind of surprised, because I didn't expect it to be this quick, but here we are, and I'm very happy for the support. Originally I was gonna rank versus Imposter version 4, but you know what, this is more fitting. I'll rank that mod another day. Oh boy, that one's gonna be a big one. Friday Night Funkin' has, of course, the original soundtrack. I'm going to be ranking all of the main weeks as well as Pico's Weekend, but I'm not ranking any of those remixes that have been recently made. Sorry, I'm just not going to rank them. I'll make that its own video, but for now I'm only counting the tutorial, all of the main week songs, as well as Pico's week. I'm not ranking the main menu, the remixes, or pause themes, or game over themes, none of that. Just the bass songs. That's it. Now, without further ado, has this game and its soundtrack aged as well as we hoped? Well, I certainly got some thoughts on these songs. Let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna eat your girlfriend.
No! No! You will not eat my girlfriend!
Monster, this song still sucks. After all this time, it has not gotten any better. I don't like it. I will try to give my praises on all of these songs first and foremost. So I'll give Monster some credit. I guess the Lemon Monster Demon Things vocals, they're not sung badly, they're sung decently, and I actually admittedly like this opening section. It sounds kinda nice, and then then the tonal shift happens, and this song cannot stay consistent with one singular tone to save its own life. This instrumental is all over the place, and Boyfriend sounds so... He doesn't fit. He feels forced into the song, which is so weird because that's a problem that only this song seems to have for me. And none of these melodies are all that catchy. And then it switches back to how the song initially started, and admittedly, this part doesn't sound bad. I guess it sounds okay, but right as I'm thinking, okay, this isn't so bad. I mean, what did I already say? This song is a tonal mess. Because after this part is over, it goes right back into messy slop. I have very little to say. I'm trying so hard to stay positive for this one, but Monster is just straight up garbage of a song. And yet, there is one thing that I have to say positive. Corey Kenshin had a hilarious reaction to this song, and it's become one of my favorite memes in the entire FNF fanbase, so you know what, Monster, thanks for that. But that's less on you, and that's just more on him. So, I'm not giving you any credit for that. I'm giving that all to Corey. Also, another thing that I don't like is how long this song is. This one feels longer than every other song, and I think it is longer than every song in this entire game, and that only makes it worse. This song is about 3-ish minutes. It feels like 5. That's how bad the pacing is as well. Everything that I just complained about with Monster mostly applies to Winter Horrorland, but toned down by like 10 points of awfulness. It's significantly better than Monster. It's not even close. Like, Monster is awful. Winter Horrorland is just bad. I think Monster's singing is better in this song than in the original, so that's good. The instrumental feels a lot better put together and composed. And admittedly, I think it sticks to its own tone a lot better than Monster did. But it doesn't do it perfectly. The transitions to the different little tonal shifts are still not great, but I guess it's better than in Monster. Oh my gosh. Boyfriend still sounds weird, doesn't quite fit the song. And, I guess the instrumental is alright. Pacing is not great, but it's fine. And the ending is so abrupt. Final thought. Winter Horrorland is better than Monster by a long shot, but it is also not very good.
Darnell, grab his legs.
Yeah. You're seeing this, right? Too Hot really did rank this low. Yes, I am aware that this is considered the best song in Weekend 1. And I think it's one of the worst in the OST, not counting Monster songs. And even then, Too Hot is on the same level as Winter Horrorland. This melody gets just so repetitive, so fast. I don't like it. Not at all. And the thing is, there's no one singular point where Darnell or Pico sound great. Even this pop-off, which is supposed to sound super cool, just sounds underwhelming and bland, and that's not even talking about Darnell himself. I do not like Darnell's chromatic. I think it sounds off, just not tuned correctly. It sounds out of pitch. I do not like it, no matter what way I try to listen to it. It's just not good, in my opinion. The only reason this song isn't ranking below Winter Horrorland is because I legitimately like its instrumental. I think the instrumental sounds good. But these vocals on top of it just ruin this song. I do not feel bad for ranking this song so low. It's just really not that good, and the ending doesn't work for me either. And I cannot believe this is the most popular one. Is this seriously what FNF fans settle for? Because this is just bad.
You got hot chocolate!
Oh my goodness. Okay, look. Coco is fine. No, it's not. It's really not. This instrumental is... I guess it's good. But the vocals, they are so... They repeat the same melody over and over and over again, and I get so sick and tired of it. FNF is repetitive by nature, yes, but Coco drives that repetitiveness to a level that I just cannot stand. And I'm sorry, because this song is popular, but I don't like it. I guess the middle is nice because it kinda goes away from that previous melody. Well, until Mommy Mira starts singing again. It's like, no, back to the original melody, and then it just stays there until the ending. Ugh. It's just... I didn't expect it. I thought the song was gonna be better. And then it turns out like this. One of the worst of the original soundtrack. It's kind of a shame. Daddy Dearest sounds fine here, and I'll give it this, the ending sounds nice, and Mommy Nearest has one of my favorite chromatics in this entire game. She sounds awesome in basically every song she's in, but Coco kinda wastes everything it had. The ending sounds nice, at least. I'll give it that. Senpai! This is one of the least popular songs from the original game, and I can see why. The compressed vocals aren't my favorites. I've never really loved compressed vocals, and there's very few songs in this fandom that truly stand out, and unfortunately Week 6 also didn't do great. Granted, it didn't do bad. These vocals aren't horrible, and they're not even bad, they're just not as good as I think they could have been. I don't know. They have some parts where they're pretty rough. The instrumental feels a little bit too repetitive. I don't know, it's one of my least favorite of the instrumentals. The main melodies are okay. They definitely convey the themes super well, and I do like Senpai's chromatic. Yeah, it's overall fine, I guess. Just feels a bit dragged out, which is weird because most of these songs are pretty short, so to say that a song feels dragged out, yeah, it definitely feels a little weird, but Senpai, it feels dragged out. This one is definitely one that I can see people ranking really low on a list and understanding it completely. I don't hate this one, but there's really not much here. Lit Up. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, just straight off the bat, this opening sucks. Like, I don't really get much from it. It's repetitive, it's bland, it's boring, and this isn't the only time that it's used in the song. So, alright, not great. But then after that one little bad opening is done, I actually kind of like the song. Well, I don't exactly like it, but it's not bad. I can kind of vibe with its instrumental, and I guess Pico and Darnell, they don't sound half bad when they're duetting together. And yeah, this instrumental definitely is what is making me rank the song any higher than I probably would otherwise, because I think it sounds very nice. This middle section, though, feels so slow and sloppy, and I'm not a fan of it. This song feels repetitive, and this one's just forgettable, honestly. If it wasn't for the instrumental, which I do vibe with, but I guess if I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather just listen to the instrumental and then completely forget about Pico and Darnell. Bop Beat Bow. I mean, this song isn't bad, it's fine, I suppose. Very simple, but a nice vibe. Not my favorite vibe song out there, but I can chill with this one. If there's anything I have to complain about, this song feels like there's several points where there's barely anything happening. Like, this song, I don't know, it's just kind of... like, some of it is just really nice. It's just fun. It's something I can chill with, almost lo-fi. And then some parts are just... eh. If I'm gonna be honest, this song feels like tutorial, but not? I don't know, it's a bit weird. Daddy Dearest also doesn't sound great in this song. His chromatic is just boyfriend, but pitched and tuned down a lot. And in this song, it's the most noticeable and makes the song feel much more repetitive than it probably should. I do enjoy this song, but I can't help but also feel like it's one of the ones I think of when I think of meh. I'm gonna be completely real. I was not considering putting Blazin' in this video at all. And that's for good reason. This song is an instrumental only. So I shouldn't rank it. I mean, I'm not ranking the menu theme or any of the pause themes or the game over theme, so why am I ranking Blazin'? I guess because I know I'm gonna get a million comments telling me, you missed Blazin' if I don't include it, so I guess I have to include it. And plus, I mean, I guess there is notes playing, so sure, I guess I'll count it. I have very little to say about this one. I think as an instrumental song only, yeah, it's actually not bad. I can sort of vibe with it. It's a little bit repetitive and doesn't have a lot of substance after you've listened to about the first minute or so, because then it just kind of drags on, it's just more of the same. And this one's weird, because I think the animations are cool, and I think, again, it sounds nice, but this is really not an FNF song. This feels more like a cutscene song, or something like that. I don't dislike this one. It's fine, it's just... like, I can't judge this one on the same criteria that I would judge basically every other song for. Blazin' certainly is there, I guess. Who knows, maybe there no vocals are a blessing in disguise, because as I said, I don't like Darnell's chromatic, so... maybe that's doing this song some favors. No vocals means I can't complain about the vocals, I guess. Eggnog! This is the best Week 5 has to offer? Well, guess I can't say that I'm not surprised. Okay, to be fair, this song is infinitely better than Coco and Winter Horrorland. It's not even close. And it's still ranking pretty low. I like this one, but none of the melodies are great. They're all fine, they're all solid, but the song overall just doesn't stand out much to me and kinda just feels like it's there. Also, the song feels like it's right about to end at the 40-50 second mark, and then it just keeps going, and it's like, it makes it feel just as repetitive as I was worried it would be. Granted, it's not nearly as bad as Coco, and Mommy Mirrors has one section in particular where she just pops off, and I love that part in particular. The duet also sounds great here, and the instrumental is overall very nice and very fitting of the theme. But, this song overall just, it doesn't stand out to me very much. Week 5 as a whole is easily one of my least favorites when it came to the original game. And yeah, now you see why. Spookies! I like this one. Skid and Pump are cool. I like this song. This opening is very good. In fact, this whole main melody sounds super nice. Also, in case you didn't know, this is the song that truly originated Boyfriend's "Oh yeah, yeah," like that sound that he's pretty well known for in a lot of other mod songs. Yeah, Spookies is what gave the fandom that. So thanks Spookies, you guys, because this gave you that iconic sound. And yeah, this song is really nice. This first half is super good. It's just a very nice, overall catchy beat. Kind of underrated in my opinion. It gets overshadowed by another Skin and Pump song. So, why is it not ranked higher than that song? Look, I'm gonna be honest, this part in particular sucks. It is awful. I hate how poorly it just tonally tries to change it. The pitch shifts too much, it's just awful. I kinda get what it was going for, but in my opinion, it failed miserably. The rest of the song after that part does sound good, which is nice, and this song thankfully isn't too long, but I just adore the first half a ton, and then the second half sort of just tanks. Good song, but that second half is real rough. Philly nice. Alright. I can vibe with this one. For the most part. That opening with Boyfriend always has sounded like big ol' bunny, and that always gets a good laugh out of me. I love it. It's kind of the most memorable thing about the song, in my opinion, but you know what? I do like it. After that, the beat has really nice and funky energy. This instrumental, yeah, it's nice, but the vocals are mostly carrying it for me. It's so good. And then there's a tonal switch, and this is my biggest problem with this song in particular. The whole song feels like a tonal mess. You've got these parts mixed with all the other parts, and it just sounds messy. It's a shame because individually, each of these parts sound good, but then they're all meshed together, and yeah, I hate to say it, but it almost feels like Kawaii Sprite had multiple ideas for Pico's second song and then tried to mesh them all together, and it turned into this, and I'm really not a fan of it. It's a shame because, again, individually, a lot of these parts are catchy, but just as a whole, Philly Nice feels incomplete and just put together with glue. It's such a shame, because I do like a lot about what Philly Nice has. It just doesn't feel like it fits well.
Like, remember that one dude that couldn't do the tutorial?
Tutorial. I like this song. It's perfectly fine for what it is. I mean, it's supposed to be basic, so nothing super crazy goes on in this song. It's super simplistic, and I love it. The instrumental is very catchy. It's just a very nice vibe all around. Again, there's very little substance to this song, and if I'm gonna be completely honest, I forget about this one probably the most out of the OST. Mainly because the other songs below it I remember for not liking, and then the ones above it I remember for being better. This one's just sort of there, but every time I hear it, I can't help but just start vibing to this song. In my opinion, this one's underrated and deserves a lot more love. And that's so in favor because of the instrumental just being so catchy. There's better, but this one is so simplistic, I can't help but love it.
Down, down, up. Down, down, right.
I'm crashing this party.
That's your mom?
And here we have it. I'm not saying the name of that song. Anyways, Mommy Mirest. Yeah, still sounds just as heavenly as I mentioned before. And this instrumental is very nice. It's a bit simplistic for me, personally, but I do still like it. The opening is nice, and after that it's fine, I guess. But then Boyfriend and Mommy Mirror's duet, and it's like, oh, their voices are so good together. I don't know how else to describe it. They just have a perfect blend whenever they're duetting. But unfortunately, I feel like the duet sections of this song, which there are 2, they kind of overshadow the rest of the song for me, because none of the other melodies are all that strong on their own. And it's a shame, because the duet sections are pretty small parts of the song overall. I kind of want to like this one more, but I don't feel like there's enough here. Also, funny enough, when I first read the name of this song, I thought it was Satan, not Satin. So, that's a funny little fun fact for you.
I'm a ghost now. Boo!
Thorns! Yeah, this one's pretty good, actually. That opening melody, that's pretty much the main melody of Thorns, is catchy and I like it quite a bit. The rest of the song is good, I suppose. There's a few points where I'm really into the beat, but there's also a few parts where I just sort of zone out. I don't know, this one feels a little bit similar to Philly Nice in that the tone is kind of a little bit choppy. Like, some parts have a distinct feel to them, and it clashes with some other parts of the song. It's not nearly as bad as Philly Nice, though, in that regard. Thorns hold its tone way better. And, I think Senpai's chromatic sounds good on this Spirit character, even though I think it would have been better if he got a different chromatic. I don't know, maybe that's just me, though. And Boyfriend doesn't sound great in this song. Sounds a little bit too compressed for me, personally. But the instrumental, though, yeah, I really like the instrumental. It sounds good. The entire song, I'm just listening more to the instrumental. You know what, this is very similar to how I feel about Technicolor Tussle. I will vibe to the instrumental for a while, but I just don't really want to listen to the main version. It just doesn't feel right for me. And that makes me rank it lower. If I can't enjoy a song in its full completion, then it would feel weird ranking it higher, because then it's just dishonest.
You just got spooked!
South. Oh yeah, here we go. This song is great. It's really catchy. The opening hits super strong. Skid and Pump sound incredible throughout this song. Boyfriend sounds good. I mean, I guess he sounds good for pretty much every song in the game, so fair enough. And this instrumental, whoo, it is incredibly good. Almost. Yeah, okay, biggest issue with the song is the middle. I don't like how the instrumental just sort of dies down and then just kind of stays that way for quite a while. It makes the song feel so empty during this part. And unfortunately, it feels like this middle section drags out longer than the rest of the song. Because again, I adore its opening and I love its ending. But this middle section just, it kills the mood for me and makes me not like the song as much as I used to. I'm trying to be as constructive and as critical as possible because these songs were really hard to rank, so the littlest things ended up affecting my ranking, and that's why South didn't get nearly as high as maybe I would have ranked it a long time ago.
Well, look who it is! Who are you? We've never met.
It is weird to me how, of all the Weeknd songs that I've talked about, the first one is my favorite. And it wasn't even close. Like, I've already talked about Darnell's Chromatic. I don't really like it. But I gotta admit, it actually works well for this song. This song is primarily getting carried for its instrumental. I love the way that it flows with both Pico and Darnell, especially. It's just a straight up vibe. It very much reminds me of Pico's first song. It isn't exactly a carbon copy, but it definitely gives me a very similar feeling, just not nearly as good. I do like what the song is going for. This is pretty much the only song from the Weeknd update that I would legitimately add to my playlist and vibe to. Everything else is just so underwhelming and frankly pretty weak. I'm also not a huge fan in this song particularly of some of the pop-off points. They sound a little bit weird to me. Pico sounds great, but Darnell sounds a little bit off-key at a few points. He doesn't sound nearly as bad as the others, but I don't know. I feel like tuning-wise it could have been done better, or maybe just given a better chromatic overall, I don't know. Still, I really like the instrumental for the song, and pacing-wise it does work pretty well for me. Overall, a decent song. I had my expectations pretty high, given that I kinda liked this one, and then nothing else really came even close to this one, which is such a shame.
If I die, it'll all be worth it. Just to get a chance to show she's worth it.
Fresh is really nice, actually. I love the little beatboxing opening and ending. They're pretty fun to listen to in the song, and it helps it stand out. The overall song is also structured really well. In my opinion, this one doesn't get nearly enough credit for its structure. The beginning is very nice and has this incredible feeling, especially with its instrumental being one of my favorites. And I love how in the beginning it's slow. There's not much here, it's just setting up a bass. And then as the song progresses, during about the second half, when it all loops around again, it's the same melody but with more added to it. I love that. It makes the song feel less repetitive and just gives it a very nice pace. The song is just really nice. Sure, it's not nearly as high energy or whatever, but I still think it sounds great. Also, this might just be me, but I think Daddy Dearest sounds better in this song than his other two songs. Not really sure what it is. I think there's just this nice echo in his voice that's super satisfying to listen to. Just a nice song overall. Ugh. That's not something I would say about this song. Oh yeah. It's good. I love Tankman's vocals. They're great. I think the pacing of the song is really strong and the instrumental is nice and intense. I love it quite a lot. There's a lot about this song to love, and I feel like everybody's sort of praised this song. So, I don't know what else to add here, except, I guess if there's anything I should talk about, it's why isn't this song any higher, and why is this the first Tankman song I've ranked? Why is it the worst one of Tankman's week? I'm gonna be honest, it's a bit samey for me at some points of the song. I don't know, it just kind of feels like there's the opening, which is great, and then that's the middle and the ending, and none of these three parts sound different in any way. They all sound the same, and then the two middle sections in between those also sound like the same as each other for the most part. I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. The melody is really good, so hearing it a few times isn't bad, but I don't feel like the melody is that good or anything. Plus, I just like the other two more.
I was wondering if you could play that song, the one that goes beep, beep, beep.
This is one of my brother's favorite songs in the game, and you know what? It's one of the most popular as well. I see why. The main melody is super catchy. Like, come on. It's Dad Battle. The pacing of this song is good, structure is good, Daddy Dearest and Boyfriend both sound great. But why is it not ranked higher? Because I know this one's gonna be unpopular that I'm not ranking it higher. Especially compared to some of the others that I have above it. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest, the instrumental hurts. I love a lot of the instrumentals for the base game. They're some of my favorite things from this game. And yet, it just doesn't hit that hard. And I know why. It's the synth. There's this whoa, whoa sound that you can hear throughout most of the song, and I find it personally annoying. Which sucks, because the middle of the song removes it, and it's really nice sounding. This song, if it just didn't have that synth, I would totally rank this one higher, because I love a lot of what's going on here, but it's pretty rough with just that one small problem. High does not nearly get enough love. And yet, I gotta admit, I almost forgot about this song at first. It's kind of a shame, because this one is a song a lot of people tend to forget out of the original OST. And I did too. And then I re-listened to it, it's like, why does everyone forget about this one? It's super catchy. The instrumental has a nice amount of progression. None of the melodies feel nearly as still and generic as the previous Mommy Dearest song. Yeah, everything about it is just solid. I guess it does take a bit for one of the greater parts of the song to kick in, and that's again the duets. Seriously, these two duetting is so good. And I like when the instrumental takes a step back. Yeah, it works for me. I did not expect High to be this good of a song, but it pulled through. It is a little bit on the repetitive side, and it kind of suffers from that. Like, the majority of the song does feel kind of samey. But there is one thing about this song that I gotta talk about, and that's the ending. That final 20 seconds or so is so heavenly. I can't even get enough of how good it sounds. Ends the song on a high note, I guess you could say. Sorry, I'll move on now.
Blammed means to fire a gun.
Blammed? This song hits hard. The instrumental is one of the most intense of the original game, and I think it sounds awesome. Pico sounds so much more serious than in his other two songs, and although I don't think he sounds the best, we'll get into that song later, I still love how he sounds here. Significantly better than Philly Nice, and it's not even a contest. I love how the instrumental sounds. It gives off this standoff feeling super well. The pacing of the song is great, and the beat drop. Ooh, look, I'm sorry, but Mommy Mirast's beat drop has nothing on Blammed, in my opinion. I really wish this one got talked about more because it's so good. And Boyfriend just ascends the high notes so well in this one. Blammed may not be nearly as popular, but I adore it. It has a lot going for it. If there's something that I could complain though, I mean, I guess it's a little bit repetitive. Not by much, but by enough to the point where it's, like, I can't help but rank the song a little bit lower. That, and I think a lot of the other songs I have ranked higher are just better.
For his neutral special, he wields a gun.
Guns was originally my least favorite of Tankman's week, and yeah, I did not give this song nearly enough credit. This opening, one of my favorite openings of any of this game's original soundtrack. The instrumental hits hard, and Tankman's vocals sound incredible. I adore everything about this first half. It sounds awesome. Like, every melody here works, and it doesn't feel like it gets repetitive. Like, Guns' first half is better than everything in UGG. That's probably unpopular, but I don't care. I just love it. And then the tonal switch happens, and I don't dislike this part. It still sounds good, and it does give off this nice transition of, oh, okay, we're switching it up a bit. Now, originally, I was upset because this was the turning point in the song where I just sort of tuned out. I don't feel like that's fair, because it still sounds great here, and then there comes this... Okay, this is where I have to complain a little bit. A lot of people love the second half of Guns, and I see why. It is catchy and it's kind of cool, but this is just 3 long turns of Tankman and Boyfriend just going back and forth, and it feels a little bit dragged out. Plus, I don't love how in the first turn the instrumental feels very bare bones and like nothing's really happening. By the second turn, I'm back into the beat and, like, yeah, it redeems it. And then the third turn, like, yeah, I can see why the instrumental is winding down, because it's the end of the song. I don't know, it's just... I wanted more out of that initial opening and first few sections of Guns, and so not getting much else from it is a bit of a shame. And yet, the song does redeem itself by the end, because that final instrumental bit with the guitar sounds awesome. I love it.
Are you ready?
Bring it, Bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, here we go. Mommy Mirast's big song. You know what it is, I don't need to tell you the name. Yeah, this one is one of the biggest in the original game, and I don't have it ranked nearly as high as I bet a lot of other people would, so what gives? Once again, I want to get my praises out of the way first. Mommy Mirast still sounds heavenly. I adore her chromatic, and it works really well in this song. And the instrumental, yeah, this is one of the better instrumentals of the original game. It captures this energy and this funk in the Friday Night Funkin' so well. The overall opening is nice, and the melody stays super strong. And then there comes the most famous part of the song, the beat drop. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest, this beat drop is kind of overrated. I guess it's sort of spoiled because of all the mods we've gotten since, but I just don't feel like this beat drop ever was all that crazy for me. Even back before modding was a huge thing, I just didn't really get much out of it. It feels kind of underwhelming, especially now. And yet after the beat drop, the song is incredible! Again, as I've said multiple times, Boyfriend and Mommy Mirror's duetting sounds awesome, especially near the end. It is so good. There's a lot of the song that I love, but gosh, I was expecting so much more from this one, and I don't really feel like I got enough. You all can have your thorns. I'm gonna sit over here with roses and enjoy my life. I love this song. It was so much better than Senpai, and thorns couldn't even compare to roses, at least for me. That mostly comes down to two primary factors. One of which being the instrumental. This instrumental gives me so much Michael Jackson vibes, it's crazy. And I am a sucker for Michael Jackson music. He's made some of my favorite songs in existence. So this song giving me a very similar vibe to the way he styles his music, yeah, no duh, I was gonna love Roses from the start. And I think the other big thing saving this song is the fact that the compressed vocals are nowhere near as bad as they are in Senpai. I really like how it sounds here, especially Senpai's chromatic. He sounds at his best in this song, and it's not even a competition in my eyes. Another thing that I would like to praise that I never really got around to is the pixel art. It's beautiful. And I like how Senpai looks the most in this one in particular. This whole song is just incredibly good and easily was one of my favorites. Granted, if I had any complaint, I think the ending could have been stronger.
Go Pico. Oh.
Pico. Oh, heck yeah. Go Pico. Yeah, go Pico. Come on. Everyone in the FNF fandom knows that iconic part. And the opening isn't the only great part of the song. This entire thing is perfect. Kawaii Sprite really settled into the vibe and funk of this song to an extreme, and I love it. Every single part of this song works for me. It's just an incredible vibe. Pico's chromatic is so fluid and smooth throughout the entire beat. I mean, Pico's chromatic sounds like it was practically made for the song. More than his other two songs, by no contest. And of course, Boyfriend fits in perfectly well. Yeah, the instrumental may be carrying this one a bit, you might think, but no. Every single element of Pico works perfectly. It fits the whole theme of FNF beautifully. And that duet between Boyfriend and Pico sounds so good, I want more of just that duet part. Honestly, I wish this song was longer because I just want more of the song. It's that good. Easily one of the best composed songs from the original game. please give me a good, solid reason as to why Stress is considered the worst of Tank Man's songs. If you're like me and you adore Stress, you might be surprised to hear that, but it's true. This one is the least popular, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. I love everything about this song. The instrumental is one of my favorites. It's really intense and climactic, and it goes so hard. Tank Man sounds at his best in this song. Stress feels like it combines all the good parts of UGG and Guns and makes it into something beyond what those songs were. I love the pacing of the song. It doesn't feel too long, but it also doesn't feel too short. None of the song feels that repetitive. Some people say it does. I strongly disagree. And that builds up with the, pretty good. Like, gosh, I love it. And it doesn't immediately hit you with the beat drop. It keeps going a bit to build it back up. And I love that. I prefer this slower build-up because every drop that happens sounds awesome. And that's not even talking about the visuals of the song, which don't really factor into my ranking, but I just want to talk about them anyway. Pico looks awesome with his guns here, shooting down the entire army. And I love Boyfriend just holding Girlfriend this whole time. This is adorable. This is one of my favorite sprites in the game. I just love it. This is beautiful. I love this. It almost makes me wish Girlfriend was singing with Boyfriend. That would have made the song even better, and I already love it. And the ending! Oh, it sends chills down my spine. I love this song. And there we have it. The base game has been ranked. I'm surprised how well most of this actually held up. Like a lot of these songs. And although some of them are just good and not great or anything, I still have a ton of respect for the base game. It set up everything that we as a fandom know. And I really do hope that none of my more intense criticisms of the lower ranking songs come off as just blind hate. I love this game, and I want to see it be as perfect as it can be. So even though, yeah, I can come off a bit cruel, just know two things. One, I'm primarily doing that for comedic effect, because some people apparently don't realize that that is my sense of humor. And two, I'm a little bit harsh because I know that some of these songs could be so much better. So when they're not, there is that disappointment that I feel. Still, most of these songs held up pretty well. And that's more than I could have asked for. And besides, I doubt that anyone on the FNF team is actually going to see this video. I'm just a silly little YouTuber with 1,000 subscribers, having a ton of fun talking about this game that I love a lot. For as much as this fandom can drive me nuts from time to time, I gotta admit, I do still love this community for its creative mods, to its passion, to just how different everyone is. It's a music game, everyone's got different opinions. And it's kind of fun seeing what others think of these songs. So, I'm thankful for the 1,000 subscribers that I got, and I thank you all for subscribing. And if you haven't already, please do. It encourages me to make more of these videos, and I'll give you this. If we get to 2,000 subscribers, I will rank all of the remixes from the update. Yep, every single one, 2,000 subscribers. That is my condition. In the meantime, there's a few other mods that I want to rank, and since we're here, I'll go ahead and let you guys in on a few mods that I plan to cover in the future. We'll see how many of these I can get through before getting to that 2,000 milestone. I plan to cover Friday Night Funkin' vs. Imposter version 4. That one's gonna be a big one. I plan to cover Hazy River because I love me some Garcello. I plan to rank, yes, Gorefield version 2 and Cartoon Cat. 2 creepy cats. I plan to rank them both. Gorefield will be first. I'm not guaranteeing that Gorefield will be next. It probably won't be. But yes, I will be getting to those two. I will be getting around to Wednesday Night and Fidelity, as well as, of course, Crimson Morning. Step Right Up Adventure Isle. That one, yes, I will be covering. It'll probably take me a while to get to that one in particular, since it is still a newer mod. Darkness Takeover is another one that I plan to cover. Because, you know, I want to cover at least a few Pibby mods out there. And that one's gonna be first. I would be covering Broken Strings, but the sad part is, Broken Strings right now is just a demo. Oh, I'm hyped for when it becomes a full mod, though. And Mario's Monday Night Massacre, and that's another one I want to cover. And Big Engine Brawl, and a few other surprises. However, the next ranking that I plan to cover is going to be another FNAF mod. And I'm gonna let you guys choose. Head on over to the community post, and it'll either be up by the time this video is premiering, or maybe the day after, depending on if I get the time to. We'll see how that goes. But there are 3 options. Funkin' at Freddy's, Orpal Guy, and FNF World. One of these 3 will be the next one chosen for me to rank. So choose wisely. I like all 3 of these mods, so I'll be happy with no matter what you guys pick. Okay, I do have a pretty clear favorite, but you know what? I'm gonna let you guys choose. And of course, tier list. And with the tier list all set up, that's it for base game. Well, you know, until I get to those remixes. This has been a lot of fun. And of course, there's one other video that I am in the works with. The Ultimate vs. FNAF ranking video featuring Penavy. That one is gonna take quite a bit of time. I'll keep you guys posted on it, but that one's gonna take some time. So to those who are really excited about it, I'm gonna just have to ask, please be patient, because there's a lot of songs that we gotta cover. Me and Penavy gotta get the timing all situated. We gotta make sure that every song is covered thoroughly. It's a whole planning process, and we're getting around with it as much as we can. So I just ask for a little bit of patience. And yes, I'll keep you guys posted. In fact, I highly encourage people that like my content to keep an eye on my community posts. I make a lot of stuff there, and I'll often be hinting at what the next video will be, so, you know, keep an eye on that from time to time. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next ranking. God bless. See you next time.